This is the Brinsea Ovation Eco that I've got the eggs in. I started out with 55 eggs. It says it holds 56, but I got 55 in there because I've got some jumbo eggs. These eggs right here on this side, I don't know if you can see it, compared to the egg next to it, they're much bigger. So it only held 55 because one whole rack only had 6 instead of 7 eggs. This is going to be my last candle. I'm checking them because something smells off. I'm going to check each and every one of them to see what's going on inside the eggs, retrieve what's not going well, and then remove the trays. So there's water in the trays. The hatching trays in the bottom, the eggs are inside. Oh, they look dirtier than they actually are right now because they've been simmering for a while. We'll see. I'm going to put the lid back on and see what's going on. Make sure it's sealed on both sides. Nice and tight. Around the edges. No air pockets, good. Let that temperature increase, and I'm also going to turn off the automatic turner that you see right there. I'm going to turn that off because there's nothing to turn at this point. No more turning. Remember I told you guys that I picked some of these eggs from under a broody hen? Well, I decided, because I candled them and it seemed like some of them were at 14 days development on the 8th day, I was right to have moved them quickly. I don't know if you can see this little guy right here. No, let me change it. Yeah, there you go. There you go, right there. Right here. Yeah, that one. That one is cracking. They've been busy. It is day 20. In addition to this one fellow that we saw who started his journey yesterday, there are several other eggs now that you can see have visible cracks on them. What I'm going to try to do is at a time when it's most active in here and there are a lot of them coming out at once, I'll try to see if I can get you visuals of what it looks like when they're actually coming out. That might be difficult because from experience I've learned that once they hatch, there's a lot more moisture in there. It's going to get kind of cloudy and foggy and it's going to be hard to see, but I'll try my best to make sure that you guys can come along for the ride. So guys, you'll never believe what happened, right? The most bizarre thing. I was watching them all morning, well, early this morning, just watching, waiting for you to see if something would happen. I left the house, and within an hour of leaving the house, my husband called to say, I have a chick. He started hatching as soon as I left. So we have about 12 hatchlings in here right now. I'm not going to open the incubator to remove them, right? Chicks are actually quite formidable creatures when they're born. When they're hatched, they can go up to 72 hours without any kind of food or water, and it's beneficial to the other eggs that I do not open or try to disturb the incubator too much while this process is going on. You might see like this guy down here is like perfectly still. They do that a lot. Don't panic if this is your first time incubating. They'll just hang out and lay down for a good while, make no movement, because they're tired, right? The journey to new life is kind of a hard job, so they're tired. They'll take lots of naps, little sleeping spells. You'll see them chirping and moving about, and then they'll just take a proper nap right in front of you, and it'll look like they passed out, like they're sick or they're dying. Nothing's wrong with them. It's perfectly normal. They do that a lot. They're gonna come out all wet and slobbery and weird looking, and then in about, I don't know, an hour after, they'll start to fluff up a little bit. But all of this is perfectly normal. These are perfectly healthy chicks and nothing wrong with them. They're just taking little breaks, right? Because it's a lot of movement going on, a lot of new things, and they're adjusting. So I'm not going to open the incubator. Opening the incubator exposes the air, which releases all that good humidity that the rest of the eggs need in order to hatch. And it will dry out the shell and the membrane, and then you have struggling chicks, and then they don't make it, and you brought them this far. You made them, brought it all the way to 21 days. Just give them a little extra time. I'm not going to open the incubator more than once in between hatching. So these guys started hatching today. They're good until 2 days from now. So if everybody isn't hatched in 2 days, actually, if everybody isn't hatched by, if everybody isn't hatched in 2 days, then I'll just open it up real quick, remove these guys, put them in a new area with the brooder, and give the rest of the eggs a chance to hatch. And that's the reason why I don't open to pull them out as soon as they hatch. They are perfectly fine. They don't need to be retrieved immediately, and it's actually beneficial to the eggs that remain that you don't open the incubator, right? Unless it's absolutely necessary. All right, stay with us. I think you can see that there's some other eggs with some chips and stuff going on, and this process could take a while. So guys, I'm so sorry that I didn't get a chance to show you, but it was hard to record while I was taking the eggs out, taking the chicks out. As you can see, the chicks that have hatched, I've taken them out of the incubator to give the others some space because one of them got trampled. There were too many of them in there. So today is the end. It's now the end of day 21. And I didn't want to leave the incubator open for too long to clean out all the shells because I was letting out the humidity. So to build that back up, I put a damp paper towel, soaked paper towel in the middle, right under the heat. I warmed it a little bit and put it in the middle just to help the humidity build back up really quickly. There are already other chicks that are trying to get on out. I'm going to monitor that to make sure that everybody is still, the process is still going well for the rest of them, and I haven't let too much of that moisture dry out so that the membrane gets dry and it's hard for them to crack that egg. But I'm not worried that's going to be a problem. I just want to keep a close eye on things because I didn't intend to open the incubator tonight, but I was very concerned that one of them wasn't moving, and I realized it got trampled. There were too many of them in there. So I counted a total hatch of 29 so far. There are about 8 that are still underway. So off the 53, we've got 37 so far. They say don't count your chickens before they're hatched, but it looks like that's the number we're going for on day 21. And I'll let you guys know what's really going on in the morning. And here are the babies. They are in their new home. Everybody is training. I'm trying to train everybody to drink and not bathe in the drinking water. Come on out. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm training them to drink, or to teach themselves how to drink, and then once I get that taken care of, I can give them a rest for tonight. Just want to make sure everybody's hydrating. They're tired. It's been a long trip, right, outside that shell, so gotta make sure everybody's taken care of. They do have access to the brooder. So far, I'm not seeing that they like the brooder. They prefer the lamp. So I think I'm gonna go with the lamp from now on. But I'm gonna experiment with it a little bit, see if they'll adjust to the brooder in a couple of days. If not, then we'll just stick to the lamp. But I'm glad I left the lamp as an option for them. Wasn't sure how the brooder was gonna work. Alright, loves. Update. They are now a full day old. Everybody's at least a day old. I have changed out their water. I add a little bit of sugar, some electrolytes to their water, and they have all learned how to drink. I have taught them. Usually you teach them by dipping their beak. They already have pecking order rivalries going on. You teach them by dipping their beak in the water, and then they'll figure it out and they'll start following each other. So they've got water. I don't fill it up, right, because it needs to be changed every day. Chicks are very messy, so you want to make sure you keep their condition sanitary, and you give them lots of clean water every day. Right. They're in a storage bin. Every time we incubate, I get a storage bin for them, simply because I wind up repurposing the old one for like quarantine or gardening or something else, and it's usually not available by the time I get ready to incubate again. So this is now the incubation center for 2021, and all the babies are very comfortable in there. I did not add a feeder simply because they do not eat from the feeder until they're about a week old. I don't know why. Every time I incubate, it's hard to train them to eat from the feeder. So I didn't add a feeder, but I'll add one next week, and we'll see what's going on. So far, all of the babies that have hatched are alive. Usually you expect, with their level of fortitude and everything, pecking order and all of that good stuff, you'll wind up with a good 80%, 70 to 80% of them making it to adulthood. And we're banking on that this time as well. I'm going to incubate a second batch, so this time I can be more selective. I just grabbed a bunch of eggs this time from the coop within the 2 days before incubation, so they're all like a mix of barnyard mixes from Bieleffelder, Easter eggers, olive eggers, blue Wheaton Morans, blue splash Morans. We've got Brahmas in there, lavender Brahmas, dark Brahmas, got a buff Brahma. We've got some golden sex links in there. We've got a lot of mixed up girls and boys in here. What I was banking on is that I might have a Sumatra, because my Sumatra Roo, Lord Mormont, didn't make it, and that's what really prompted the impromptu incubation. I was hoping that he had fertilized some business before he left us, so we'll see what we've got going on. But yeah, it's a lovely mix in here, and they'll be fit for exposure to the rest of the team, the rest of the family outside, in about 6 to 8 weeks, and I'll take you along for that as well, so you see what that looks like. We do not expose them and just leave them out there to fend for themselves. We put them in a secure area that's right next to the chicken coop, or a smaller coop inside the chicken coop, so they can get to interact, and the bigger guys can get used to their presence and accept them before they're all out there on their own. So I'll take you along for that so you get to see what that looks like. But these are the babies. I was wrong about the Brinsea brooder. Initially, I had said that it doesn't seem like they like it. It doesn't seem like it gets warm enough, but they like the heat lamp during the day, and then at night when I come to check on them, they're all huddled up together under the brooder. So I'm not sure why the preference, but they prefer to sleep under the brooder. So it's working out very well so far.